Hello, and welcome to this shortened demo of Alliance Core, a shared services-based childcare management system owned and operated by Early Learning Ventures. This video is meant to serve as a brief overview of some core features for stakeholders and other busy individuals who don't have the time to meet personally with our team right now, but would like to get a feel for it. So if you're unfamiliar with Early Learning Ventures, if you're someone that has stumbled upon this video via your own research, I strongly urge you to contact us here at the ELV offices so we can meet and walk through your personal childcare needs one-on-one. Our contact details are in the video description, but to reiterate those details, you can call our client support team at 844-293-2820 or email us at elvclientsupport@earlylearningventures.org. ELV is a champion of the shared services approach, and we like to do all of our training one-on-one, right from the first demo even. But sometimes a short video like this is needed. So today, I'll be walking through a few key features from a director's viewpoint: child and staff attendance, the provider dashboard, online enrollment, compliance tracking, and reporting. Some of the main features I am not covering in today's videos that are championed by members in our network include our billing module, parent portal, our link with CCAP in Colorado, our food program reporting, and our Head Start and Early Head Start tracking capabilities. So if you're interested in seeing those pieces specifically and our billing module, it's awesome, please get in touch with us so we can schedule a time together. But here, let's start with child attendance. So this is going to be what it looks like from the parent's viewpoint. On any kind of device, because our childcare management system is basically cloud-based, so you can access it from any type of internet connecting device, basically you have your parents come in. And all of your parents are going to have their set sign-in, sign-out code. It also works the exact same way for staff, but I'm not going to be showing that today. On the left, you can also see this little QR sign-in code. That's because in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic, we very quickly installed a touchless sign-in, sign-out tracking. So we come in, we have our own unique sign-in, sign-out code, and we hit child check in and out. And so you can see up in the top left that it welcomes me. I'm Grandma Judith, always have been, always will be. And I have the 4 grandchildren that I am able to drop off today. I can either just check in one at a time, or I can check in all the children at a time. And what this does is this timestamps in the system who checked them in and what time they checked them in. So you don't have to have that paper sign in at the same time. And also, if you're in Colorado and you have children on the CCAP program, we actually link directly with that, and we are more than happy to walk through how that works. The bulk of our system, though, lives on the back end, where our administrators and directors do most of their work maintaining all of the business and administrative sides of childcare. That way, more time can be spent in the classroom one-on-one with the children. So when I log in here, you can see that I am greeted by all of these different kinds of alerts. And I know that can be a little scary, but the reason for that is I'm actually a terrible fake director. I've had my site for about 3 years, and I don't think I've updated any information in 2. So for most of our providers, when they sign in, they're not greeted by all of these alerts, but they are greeted by, here and there, some. Because what this is telling me as the director is, hey, you have all of this data being tracked inside the system. We can see that in certain areas, you're either already expired on it or you are about to expire, and you should go take a look at this. So if we use just this expired CACFP expiration, if I just click on it, it's going to tell me exactly what child is having their expiration, and you can see I'm already several years past due on it. But this is just our provider dashboard that gives that quick glimpse over, am I in compliance? What are some of the things I need to check on, and things of that sort. You can also see, for our centers, there's a staff to child ratio. You can see this online enrollment self-management. That's on our parent portal, which is one of the things I won't be covering today. And then you're also able just to see, who is checked in, what are some of the birthdays that are upcoming, do we need to move people from one room to another, whether that be staff or child. And I also really like to just highlight this updates page. It's not something most of our providers ever really click on, but the reason for it is we are constantly updating this system. And being a shared services nonprofit, most of our updates are actually coming directly from you, childcare providers. So we always urge you to let us know how this system can be better, how it can conform with your state's requirements, everything like that. Where I'm going to move now is actually what it would be if a provider had just joined with us and it's time to get them onboarded. Because, if you're meeting with me in person, that's going to be something that I'm harping on a lot, is that in-person support. We've been called virtual administrative assistants by a couple of our providers, and we like that. We think that gives a good viewpoint of what we do. Because we recognize that these childcare management systems can be a lot all at once. And so if you have somebody there that's just sort of taking you step by step through the process, you're going to be able to clear that first wave and have some smooth sailing afterwards. So in our little fake world, you've just joined our system. The first thing that we're going to do is set up some of the basic information with you. So the provider primary information, such as, what's your address? Do you take part in the food program? What hours are you open? What times are you open? Little things like that. We do that, set up your basic schedule, set up your basic rooms, and then we're going to upload your parent handbook into the system. And the reason for that is, we've now laid the basic foundation for the system, and now we're going to want to get all of that children, family information into the system. But that can be a lot, especially if the provider's having to do that manually. So how we go about doing that is through online enrollment. So with online enrollment, what we're doing is we're basically taking all of that, uploading time to get everything ready in the system, and we're just spreading that out amongst all of your families. First, you're going to set up your template. And again, this is everything. We're usually going to be right on the other side of the computer coaching you through this. So we're going to attach our parent handbook. That way, the most recent question that your parents get is, I've read and agreed to the terms and conditions as laid out in the parent handbook. If you take part in the food program, we have a great relationship with our local food program here in Colorado, so we always have the most recent income eligibility form loaded. If you have any kind of other specific files you want to have them sign differently, you can attach that. And then there'd be a link. So your parents are going to click on that link, and they're going to fill out all the information that's required about themselves, about who's allowed to pick up and drop off their children, and about the children themselves. And so everything in here in my demo version is specific to Colorado. So the reasoning for that is because we actually, everything we do is Colorado licensing compliant. But yeah, so if I was to show you those forms, you'd be able to see that everything in there is exactly what is required by Colorado's state licensing. Also, before I move off the parent data, you can also use this just to get that quick signature each year via parent data update request. If you have a new provider handbook, you can upload in the system and say, hey, I need to add a new one. I want to add this to all of my parents, attach the parent handbook. Here it is. You get that new yearly signature on there. All right. So once you're through online enrollment, you're at the stage where you're able to have parents sign in and sign out on a daily basis. It's at that point that we sort of open it up to you to tell us what's most important. Usually we've already done this during our orientation time because, so for some providers, they know they're not doing billing correctly, they're not on a budget or anything like that. So getting billing up and running is going to be really impactful. But the billing module is one that I very much like going over with our providers one-on-one. So please contact us if you'd like to go through that. What I'm more than happy to show you right now, though, is going to be compliance tracking. So all of our compliance tracking works pretty much the same. So even for our Head Start and early Head Start tracking capabilities, this will be similar. But for all of our compliance tracking, we're going to follow the same process. So that's whether it's child screenings, child immunizations, child development notes, staff information, if you want to look at your staff training or degrees, or anything like that. What I'll use as our example, because it is the same process across all of these, and I don't want to spend too much time on it with you, I'll just use inspections as the example. So with inspections, these are the ones we have saved in here, but let's say, today you just had your updated fire department inspection, so we want to make sure that we have that logged. That way we know when it's going to expire. So we're going to add a new one. What kind of inspection was it? What was the date of inspection? We said it was today. If there is an expiration for these kinds of things in compliance tracking, always put it in. That way the system can alert you as it's coming due. So let's just pretend it expires in 2 days for some reason. And then you can fill out the rest of this as you want, as detailed as you want. And you can see at the bottom, this upload inspection report. That's where you can upload the hard copy version you receive. So if you get emailed it, you can just upload it straight away. You can take a picture on your cell phone, scan it, anything like that. What this does is it then ties to the record. This makes it easy for you to find what you need, because everything is going to be attached to the specific records. We also have a document store where everything is kept. So it's stored in 2 places, but this is where you can get everything all at once. So all of the provider level documents you might need, the various staff level documents you might need. So if we want to, go look at one specific qualification for somebody, you can come right in here. And the same with parent and child documents. And all this is just to give you that quick version about how some of these features work in tandem. And since we are talking about things that work in tandem, I want to talk about the dashboard and then reporting. So many of our reports, we basically took the Colorado State form or the federal form, and then we set it up so that our fields in the system automatically get placed in there. It saves a lot of our providers tons of time, especially for food program reporting. I've heard several of our providers tell us that, it used to be they had to have to mark out an entire day each month to track that, and now they can just pull the report and have it. Scheduled reporting, though, is the one that I really like to talk on with compliance, because what scheduled reporting is you're going to get it to you on a set interval, because in childcare, we know there are so many things that are out of sight, out of mind. So for example, let's use immunizations. So this child immunization due/overdue report. What this does is it looks ahead 30 days and sees if anybody's immunizations are expiring. Also looks backwards and sees if there's any immunizations that are already expired. What kind of format do you like it in? I'm an Excel guy. I want it to come to me in Excel. Do you have a specific person at your center that deals with these specific themes? Well, we can make sure this goes directly to their email. Because, child immunizations, it's a 30-day interval kind of report. I want this to come on the first day of each month at 11 a.m. If I was to save this, then Brian Demo at 11 a.m. on the first of each month gets this report to his inbox. If that report is blank, it means according to the system, all of the immunizations are up to date and you're good. If a name does pop up there, it's going to tell you exactly what immunization they're needing. Then you're able to tell that parent. And so you can do this with all kinds of things on the compliance side. A lot of people like to do it on the billing side, where they get the statement of payments on like a weekly basis. You can do all these kinds of things to just try to help with that anxiety that can sit in the back of your head, because is there something I forgot about? That's what we try to help with. Just to be complete, I do want to just talk about dynamic reporting really quick. Dynamic reporting is basically our Build-A-Bear workshop, because basically in these systems you have all kinds of information. And you might want to get something very specific. I've had several weird requests I've helped with people over the years. But you can basically just pull in whatever kind of fields you need. So give me the child's name, the room names, what time they checked in, what time they checked out. But, we also want information about the parents. Give me, the parent's name. And you can see how you can get lost in dynamic reporting, building out anything you might want. And that's why, even though this is virtual, and I want to again point out everything we do, we are more than happy to train you on, be there in support of you. We are a big champion in shared services, and we want to be there with you. So that's like the very quick version of some of the features in the system. I didn't really talk about our communications pieces. I didn't talk about our billing or, our link with CCAP, our food program reporting. All of these things, I would be more than happy to work with you if you want to contact us. Again, our contact information is in the description, or you can call us at 844-293-2820, or email us at elvclientsupport@earlylearningventures.org. I hope you're enthused by this. I'd love to work with you more in depth, and thank you and have a great day.